There we go. Let me zoom this out. There we go. Oh, do 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 do. Hey Gary. Hey Aaron. How we doing? Get myself settled here. Whoop. Where's that wheel at? There we go. Oh man. So, hello and welcome everybody. So tonight the plan is to hopefully finish getting this thing tuned up, but I'm having issues here, and it's quite annoying currently. Oh man. Okay. So, Viking, how you doing? All right. So my issue is I cannot get extrusion to work properly on this machine. I don't know what's wrong here. So I've calculated the rotation distance. That's the new one in Klipper. It was um, stepper rotation, something like that. I don't know. It was something else, but it changed. So I've updated it to rotation distance, and I cannot get this thing to extrude properly. So my issue is, I will like that, like that. You guys can see. Come on, focus. No, I'm on my hand, not on the thing behind me. So you can see it's not quite filling in everything. So it looks like a simple under extrusion, but it's not. And I don't get what the actual issue is. Oh, Viking, get over COVID. That sucks, dude. Sorry about that. I'm doing okay. I don't know why my camera is so loose though on this arm. I mean, but the walls are extruding nicely. That's not the issue. Focus on me, please. Can I get back and focus? Oh my God, this camera is just bugging me. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's under extruding. But again, I calculated it. I told it to extrude 50. I got 50 out of it. Well, I got 49. Then I recalculated it and got 50. So that's all fine. Extrusion multiplier set to 1. So there's something else that I'm missing. And I can't figure that out for the life of me what it is right now. I really don't know. You would think it was simple under extrusion, but it's not. And I just tried another one, and it was doing the exact same thing after I made some changes. So, because I thought it was my, what do I say? I thought it was my starting G code that was the issue. So I grabbed the G code from the start G code is from my Mark III's clone because I'm using an NZ board. And I'm using the Prusa Klipper config, but everything in there looks okay. I made the changes I need to change. I just can't quite figure out what the actual issue is. So I'm going to try to pull it up here on screen. So give me just a minute here to figure this out. I need to go to studio mode. And then I want to go to, we're just going to do that, but I don't want display capture. I want, let me configure this set here real quick. The scene, so I can get this going. I want to do window capture, add source. I want you to, no, I need you to go that. But we're gonna get off Facebook and go to Hound.local. Go from there. Okay. Let's go back here to this. We can hit done on that, and we can transition. There we go. So now I can make it just a little bit smaller. Oh, why is it still doing? Oh, I have to turn this off. There we go. I'm just gonna make it a little bit small just so I can still try and see chat while I'm doing this, which I don't think I can. I hate using my laptop for this stuff. Let's go back to that. Here, transition. Makes it really hard to try and do this. So anyways, let's just go screen capture that. Just do that. Okay, so here's the config for that. Maybe I can pull up my chat on my phone. I could do that. So edit the config. Go to studio. So yeah, everything seems to be. So I edited my mesh, got that done. Homing seems good. We're still not printing the center of the bed either. I'm just afraid that I'm gonna have to redo this thing from scratch, and I really don't want to do that. I do live. Nope. So the big one we're looking at here is Z extruder. So I've set microsteps to 16. I don't know if maybe that's causing an issue. By default, it was 32. But I think if I double that, I need double rotation distance. I think it's what it is. Sweet, here it is. All right, I can see chat now at least. Is that muted? Yeah, that's muted. Okay, so at least I can see chat on my phone. So rotation distance, fine. The full steps for rotation. I did find an article that kind of gave me a starting point for these. So that's what I was going off of. So this mass extrude cross section, I don't have that in anything else. I don't know if that's causing something. The max extrude only distance, only velocity, only excel. I see that. I've never seen. The max extrude cross section increased for purge line, but in theory, it's probably a bad idea to have this large. I don't have that in any other of my printers. Min temp, max temp, that's fine. Turn pressure advance off. And then all of this here is fine for the actual extruder itself. And then if we go down to so I have a load filament, an unload filament, clear display, a pause, and a cancel and a resume. So I don't have a start one, like, because that shit wasn't in this config. I'm just wondering if there's something else in here that I have wrong. Velocity, solid recell, square corner velocity. Input shapers turned off as well. I'm using the same filament sensor, so that's not a problem. It's got to be something in here. I'm guessing something under this extruder. Because the TMC settings are fine. It's something in here that is just jacking it up. I can't figure out what in the world that is. The only thing to do is maybe look online and see something else. Again, so because it's all set up correctly, and then if I go to, so I just threw this one here real quick. So filament, I mean, extrusion multiplier is set to 1. Shouldn't set that any higher. It's going to be over extruding because, so just to verify the size here, it's a 30 mil cube. It's just the shape. I just imported a generic shape from Prush Slicer. "25 high, 30, 30, 30. Well, 30, 30. So if you go back to here, oh, so that's already wrong there. It's 25. It's supposed to be 25 mil, but it's bigger than that. Let me get out the calipers. So there's already some issues there. Jerry, how's it going? Do you do single wall cube? I didn't, but there's issues anyways because it's 30 mil when it's supposed to be 25 mil. So there is an issue in here anyways. I'm getting 30.9 and 30.9. Z is just about spot on. So I guess I need to change up X and Y because it's step distance and not rotation. Oh my goodness. This is just brutal. So I guess I need to change this out for, yeah, so this needs to be, what's it called, rotation distance. So I need to do the microsteps. And we'll do that as 16. And then I need rotation distance. Whatever that's going to be. And then I need full steps per rotation. Okay. So I'm using, I'm fairly certain these are 16 tooth pulleys on, or no, these are probably 20 tooth because 16 is what Prusa uses. I normally use 20. So I'm using 20 tooth. So that means at 16, these are 200. So what is that then? So out. Rotation. Klipper. So it's the full steps per. Okay, so I still got to calculate the rest of it though. Configuration reference. No. So Cartesian kinematics. Step X, step Y. Where is that under here? Additional steppers. I don't want additional steppers. Oh, Aaron sent me something on Discord. So I guess I need to also figure out what are these LDOs. They're 1.8s. So 1.8, that's 200. Okay, which Aaron just said. Did I lose all my settings? Because I'll be ticked. Yes, I did. Son of a gun. So, microsteps is 16, and then full steps per rotation is 200, and then rotation distance is 32. Okay. So I need to copy that. I need to delete step distance. Go down to stepper X. Up to stepper X. Right here. So paste that in there. Get rid of microsteps out of the TMC. Get it out of this TMC because that'll throw an error. I found that last time. Okay, what else am I missing here? So here's what I don't get. How is that? So I must have my extruder wrong then, because it's 216 and rotation distance is 7.5 for the BMG. BMG stepper rotation distance. I've searched this before because I guess it takes into effect the E steps as well. The full steps rotation times microsteps divided by steps per millimeter. I wonder if I need to do 32 with the LDO motors or not. I'm not sure. Let me just double check my. Let's just save that. I don't lose it again. And then under his stepper X, see. So SPIs don't matter. Diag pins, run current, hold current, self-check threshold. The 2130s. Let's go up here to X. Yeah, they put a lot more in here than you have, Aaron, and also the SPIs. I don't have any SPIs in there. So I wonder if that was the issue then. So let's say, so I wonder if that was the issue. So basically, what's happening is, what can I go back to here? There we go. So I think thanks, Aaron. So I think the issue here is that it's moving further than it should be in that amount of time. So it's outputting the right amount of filament, but it was going more than it was supposed to go in that space. So I think that might be what it was. Yeah, so yours is 7.6. Mine was like 7.5 when I recalculated. I knew that'll be different for everybody, basically. So I'm going to resend this G code at it and see what happens here. Okay, it's gonna start to print. Okay, so we'll kind of see how that goes now. So you do have the cross section as well. Okay. I never remember seeing that. Let me switch back to the chat here. Okay, so I'm gonna let that print for a minute. Okay, so we're gonna let this roll for a second. It's heating up. We'll see how that goes from there. But yeah, I think that might be why it's just not doing, because the walls look great, honestly. They're a little thin, but there's no sputtering, which would lead to a partial clogged nozzle or something like that. I mean, it's all brand spanking new. It's a brand new Mosquito, the brand new 0.4 nozzle on there. I mean, there's nothing old about any of it. I'm gonna try to get my camera set up somehow, maybe. There we go. I really don't like this angle here. It's kind of annoying. But hey, we'll see how it goes. I might turn the AC down just a smidge because it's blowing directly on me when I stand there. Put the fan on low. There we go. Yeah, and then running this off my laptop. So I need to try to figure out a way to be able to stream from my desk again, because having the two screens there, I can share like configs and what I'm looking at, and then I can have my chat on the other screen. And just here at the desk, it does not, the workbench doesn't work out very well. I need to start another print here in a moment. Oh, crap. I've almost finished my outdoor project of the DIY pool heater, but I am 3D printing parts for the side of it now. Also makes you wonder if it's going to do the because it doesn't make sense. It knew how to home and do the bed leveling mesh per the numbers I put in there, but when it comes to printing is where it gets kind of jacked up. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like it kind of does and it kind of doesn't, which is super annoying. Let me switch back to Megatron. File, print. No, it's still printing way off to the side. It's not printing where it's supposed to. Can you focus on that, please, camera? Why is it so out of focus? That's out of focus, right? Like it's focusing right there. Why don't you focus back there? There we go. Goofy thing. Yeah, it's still still not doing it right. I'm gonna just restart the whole machine now. Let me double check that the config stuck. Because for some reason I don't think it did. So let's see here. Okay, so stepper X is good. Stepper Y is good. Okay. Yep, we're just going to power the whole thing off. Fire back on. See if that does anything. And go from there. I don't want studio anymore. There we go. Although with the Pi 3 on this does boot pretty quickly. The Pi Zeros do take quite a while. The old Pi Zero ones, Pi Zero 2s, I heard are much better. But I have one and I haven't done anything with it yet. Okay, so we are rebooted. Let's go back here into the config. And we're going to just going to set it as a different file name just to make sure it doesn't get mixed up with something else. I do need to add to this machine the settings for the thumbnail. It's the nice thing about Klipper screens, you can have the thumbnail going. And now we wait a few minutes. Are there tweezers over here? Oh yeah, I don't have at the desk as tweezers. Okay. While I wait, I'm going to clean out of the print. If it prints off in the far corner again, then we know it's still having an issue there. I hate printing support on flexible with flexible material. I mean, it comes off fairly easily, but I do wish it was easier. It still has space there. I think this is going to be a from scratch firmware instead of using this one to base it off of. Hey, Adam. Ugh, this is absolutely frustrating. It's all because of this stupid new extruder that I wanted to use. If I was using the same old Bear, it would have been fine. I'm going to stop it here in a second just to measure it and see if we're getting the actual 25 millimeters now that it's supposed to be. The extruder is also creaky. Back, cancel. Oh, back. All right. Yeah, it's still not doing that right, but and it's still 30 millimeters. So it's still wrong. Does that mean the calculations are wrong? I've been better, Adam. I'm just annoyed with this machine right now. So I'm still off by 5 millimeters. Or it's 6 millimeters because it's 30. It's 31. So what is wrong? What's difference here? What is the problem? So I thought they were 20-tooth pulleys. Unless they're 16s. But if they were 16s, then it would be under. But they're 20s, and I'm over. Brandon, yeah, it's a BMG. It's a 3D printed BMG. Well, Adam, I assume it's the rotation distance, but hell if I know what it's supposed to be. Right now it's 32 for X and Y, and that's wrong. Okay, so only be 80. So now I got to figure out what is wrong with that. So I think it's supposed to be 40. So a higher rotation means it goes less, right? Because it needs to rotate. It's rotating less than it needs to now. No, because then it's not going far enough. But the calculator says it's supposed to be 40. So that's just for an extruder. No, no. Should be the same though, right? So, okay, so I'll change it to 40 then and go from there. That one, that one, then save and restart. We'll try this again. We're running low on this. I'm trying to use the last bit of this filament for these tests. Let's see if this is the final way to solve it. Okay. Let's print that. And off we go. Yeah, Prusa does use 16 tooth, and I use 20 tooth because they're a lot cheaper than 16s because everyone uses it for their Prusas. And now we wait again. Most riveting YouTube content there is me trying to figure out goofy settings in Klipper again. It just all seems a little counterintuitive that it would be a higher rotation distance in order to have it move less. Like going 40 in my mind, makes it seem like you have to move 40 times for it to go someplace, which means it would move more. I don't know. It just doesn't. It seems counterintuitive to me. And we're moving. I think that's the last of it. Mildly entertaining. Watch me figure out Klipper. You'd think I'd have it figured out by now. I am not looking forward 1,000% to redoing all of my printers when I update Klipper. I'm really not looking forward to that. And having to change all of my scripts and everything. Well, if it's 32, one forward rotation takes you 32. If it's 40, one rotation takes you 40. Well, it's in the middle now. Oh, it's got a little bit of booger on it. I can't reach. I just want to see if this first layer looks any better. If the first layer looks better, then I think we're off the races. It's looking pretty solid. Yep. Go fix it, Adam. God, that's so annoying, the sound of that extruder, though. Gotta figure some way to lube that or something. It's okay, Aaron. Yeah, we're tons better now. So I think that was the issue. It was not the extruder as I thought it was this whole time. And it's failing anyways because there was a booger on it and pulling it up. So let's do pause. Cancel. Yeah, that is nice, and it's much smaller than it was before. 25. 25. Look at that. Okay. Cancel print. Okay. So now that we know that's no longer the issue, I need to just lower my, what's it called? I need to lower my Z offset just a smidge. Bottom. 140. There we go. Save and restart. Elliot says yes. So this is a bare frame, and it's using pretty much all bare parts. The 2.0, I didn't upgrade to 2.1, I don't think, or I do. Yeah, I do have some of the newer 2.1 parts on here. My other bare is the 2.0, so this one is a little bit different on some of the parts here, but otherwise, yeah. So this is an upgrade for that. I am using an old NZ board that I already had, which kind of prompted this whole project, and I just got a Gucci frame for it because why not? Seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay, so now that's solved. I go from here. How much filament do I have? I don't have enough filament to do another. Don't have enough filament to do another test off of this roll. So let's just set that. Just heat this back up, and then I'll get some different PLA to use. Now we can do some other testing. Why did I choose to go for the upgrade? So again, this isn't an upgrade at all. This is all parts that I bought myself to do this entire project. It's not like I took my Mark III and did it. My Mark III is still sitting on the shelf to be used as a Mark III. I don't want to change that printer because I like having it stock. Mark III's Plus, I guess it is now. Or no, I don't have the Plus upgrade. I just have the Mark III's. The Plus is the Super Pinda, which I don't have. I never saw the reason to buy that. Yeah, most people do this because it is a much beefier frame. That's a big thing. But I'm putting Klipper on it because Klipper is what I use on all my machines. It's just Klipper's changed so much over the past few months. I'm struggling a little bit with it. Temperature now? Okay. So you can go to the dashboard. Unload filament. Let me go grab a different PLA I have laying around here. I have a Ziltech one here. It's sitting out for 2 months. Should be fine. Might be a little bit brittle. Nope, still good. I think this is the Nico's red. Yeah, the thing is so squeaky. I do love they have the auto feed enabled on this. Love that. Okay, so, oh, hang on, I missed a couple comments here. So that is input shaper. Yes, so I'm not going to be using the accelerometer just because I still don't have that really set up properly. I don't actually know where I would attach it either, nor do I have the cable chain made for it. So I'm just going to do it manually. There's just a command you run for it to run it. So I'm going to pull that up now. So it's the residence resonance compensation. All right, so I do need to download the tower. And downloads, main tower. Okay, so 0.2 millimeters, infill, top bottom is 0. So print settings. 0, 0, infill, 0, and then 1 to 2 perimeters. We're just going to do it as vase mode. Spiral vase, yes. It says with a 2 millimeter base. So let's do a skirt and brim. We're going to do 10 loops, 0, 1 layer. Okay. And then 80 to 100 millimeters for external perimeters. So speed, external perimeters, we're going to set that to 80 millimeters a second. And then make sure minimum layer time is at most 3 seconds. Oh shoot, where's that at on here? I think it's under printer settings. Extruder. No, where is that at? And proof slicer. I never remember because I never touch it. Oh, I think it's under filament, isn't it? So I need to set the minimum layer time is at most 3 seconds. I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, I don't have to do anything for that. No worries. Do not turn the model. Do not change it. Okay. So all right, double check. I usually watch WAN show clips. I never have time to just sit and watch WAN show the whole time. So I just usually watch the clips of it. Okay, so we're gonna go over to Hound. We're gonna go to paste that. We'll set the velocity limit to that, and then we're gonna make sure pressure advance, even though it's disabled, we're gonna set pressure advance to 0. Okay, and then the input shaper is disabled. Okay, so issue the command tuning tower. So let's go back to here. Get rid of that. Start. Wait, what did I miss here? Oh. We got the T of tuning. It's uning power. Uning tower. Tuning tower. Send that. Okay. And then I think I can now send the file. Yep. Perfect. So push slicer. Slice. Send it. Go. Okay, now I can go back to comments. Right there. Okay. So I do dehydrate my filament when I need to, but most of the most of the filament I use doesn't really need it. Um, but when I need to, I do. I have a dehydrator that sits under my desk. But when you have 14 printers, they all can't print out of the dehydrator. If I had one printer, I probably would do that all the time. But it's just not possible for my setup. Yeah, so it's the Resonance Tuning Tower. It's the one you download from. They have the STL out there for it. Um, bloody ants! Got these little goofy ants hanging out here for some reason. I don't know what they want or why they're here. There's no food at my desk, little ants. So please go away. And we're just going to make sure that first layer is good, which I can bring it down a little bit. I think that's good there. Yeah, okay. I'll just move you guys so you can see what it's working on. That's as light as I can get. Interesting way to do it. There's precise ramp. The brim doesn't actually touch all of it, which is interesting. Oh, the ants are after the PLA. No, they're after nothing. They're just on the wall. I don't understand it here. So it's going to do 10 rounds for the skirt. I could lean this bit more. Do you lean more? There we go. We do lean more. Okay. There we go. We'll just do like that. This build sheet is the Ulti Stick. You can get it on Amazon or on what's call it AliExpress. I did run this for a while on Optimus Prime, but Optimus is now running a standard Prusa sheet because I've been doing a lot of flexible filament on that machine. That's pretty much been my flexible only machine now because I don't really have a reason to print anything else on that machine except for flexible, which is great because having a dedicated machine for flexible filament is extremely helpful for when I do need to print it. I don't need to print all the time, but knowing that I can literally just throw any flexible filament in there, crank it to, 40, 50, 60 millimeters a second, and let it run is very, very helpful. I need to put something back together that I knocked over earlier. I still have the Lego City on my floor, but we're looking to move it soon. Okay. Oh, I knocked that over too. Okay. I have probably near every single type of sheet that you can buy for a Mark III bed. an MK52 bed, I should say. I have probably, oh, I don't know, 8 or 10 different ones, to include ones from Prusa, old ones from Prusa, new ones from Prusa, FISEC, Ulti-Stick, Build Tac, regular PEI. What else do I have? The Oh, what's that? That one print sheet that I love that's like totally destroyed. Is it better than the Prusa seeds? I don't think it's better. It is smoother than the Prusa textured sheet is. The Prusa textured sheet has a little bit more roughness to it. If you want a very, very aggressive, coarse textured sheet, the FISEC one is the coarsest one that I have seen. So I believe this changes every 5 layers. It will get progressively faster and faster. We won't need to go that long. We'll probably only need to go about 15 minutes, 20 minutes probably, before we really start seeing ringing. Oh, okay, Aaron. Ish. But I mean, so this is my second Bear printer. My first one is the SKR Bear that I made a while ago. That one is having some extrusion issues right now, or I'm sorry, not extrusion. That one's having sensor issues. I still need to replace the sensor on that at some point. I haven't really decided on. I haven't decided. I haven't made time to work on that one yet. No worries, Elliot. That's kind of why I do live streams and I do YouTube, is to help people with questions. And obviously, I need help as well. As you saw how long it took me to get this going today, figuring out that one super minor issue that I should have seen. Man, really, Aaron, I still have both of mine. So I have the one on, what's it called? I mean, it sticks super well. Like sometimes it sticks too well. Um, so this is the FISEC sheet from. This is the great big one. See, I printed way too close. That is stuck on there for good. It's going to take me forever to get this off. So I've just been using the other side. Stuff sticks to it really, really well. But I had some sensor issues with Ultra Magnus, which is why that backside of it is still on there. But I mean, I've printed. You probably print. Here's the thing, Aaron. I think is because you print with ABS, it wore out faster. I never printed ABS. It's always PLA or PETG temps, and I never have any issues. None of my build sheets ever go over 90C. I think really ever. I really do like this red. I guess that. So this is the. I think this is Nico's red from FISEC. All right. Well, that's quite boring, isn't it? Let's do something like this, maybe. Okay. So I'll show you guys something cool that I'm working on right now. In the meantime, so I made this. I shared it with, I think, on my regular Discord, or maybe with just patrons. But I'm doing a DIY solar heater for our pool, which is pretty fun. it's definitely something different, but I ended up buying this corrugated plastic for the top, and I have it screwed down along the edge. Well, I've got these huge gaps here, so I went ahead and 3D printed, of course, these caps that just fit in there ever so nicely. And then I just have to screw this into the side of the wood, and then I just silicone seal the seam, and then it's sealed. So I was quite proud of myself for that. I just took this, put on a piece of paper, traced it, scanned it, imported it into Fusion, scaled it properly, and then did this. And this was literally, this is the second print, but the shape of it was spot on first try, which I was shocked and super pumped about. I just had to make it a lot thicker. I only had this is now 10 mil thick. It was only 3 mil at first, and it wasn't thick enough to meet up with it. So I had to make it a little bit thicker, and it's pretty beefy. It's 3 perimeters, 10% infill, 5 top, 5 bottom, PETG. So hopefully that plus the silicone around it, these will hold up well. That's what I'm hoping at least. But we'll find out once it gets out in the sun for a while. I need to print 12 of these, and I'm doing them one at a time just for the sake of I don't want to walk away from a print and power go out and I lose a ton of filament. So it is printing one at a time on my number 5 now. So I'll have the rest finished by like Tuesday. The Discord is linked down in the video description, so just go ahead and pop on there and you'll see it. Oh, you print mostly PETG on there. Oh, interesting, Aaron. Do I remember the Philoween by Thomas? I've kind of gotten out of testing filament. I still have a couple rolls here that I need to test. Do I? I don't even remember anymore. There's some filament sitting up here. I don't remember where I got it from. I think I only have one spool left of stuff that I need to test. I don't know. It kind of gets super duper boring to test filament. And I ended up using some of the other filament for like other projects. I just like, oh, here's a roll. I used it and I was like, oh crap, that was a review filament. So yeah, I've kind of gotten out of filament reviews because it's so boring. I did it for a long, long time though. We're getting faster. I don't have ASA, nor do I print it, nor do I print ABS. So PETG is what I got. PETG is what I'm going to use. Well, it doesn't bode well because there's already ringing on the first one, so clearly these settings need to be set up properly. It just finished the first, getting into the second bit now. Am I excited with the Prusa XL? Nope, not at all. Layman? Hello, hello. Yeah, not excited at all for Prusa XL. It's a stupid expensive machine that I will never see, so kind of doesn't really matter to me. Oh, no, this goes in the desk. Do, do, do. Yeah, Aaron and I have been talking. I still think Aaron and I need to get a podcast going because I think it would be hilarious. But Tom has fell super out of touch with, I think, with the community. Um, yeah, he still looks. I mean, Joel's been out of touch for a long time, but Tom is like the latest one to kind of really lose with audiences lately. The Prusa XL bed, yes, that will be cool. Once we can use that on other printers, I think Volron is planning on already utilizing that in some of their builds. Um, but yeah, we got to figure out the logistics of that, Aaron, because I have no idea how to do a transcontinental uh, podcast. Not at all. If you can figure out the tech, I probably can make time. We could do it. I think every now and then he comes out with a project that's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I can see people doing that. But most of the time, it's stuff that no one's even going to look at. Again, same thing with Joel. And Joel's defense is he just wants to look at cool tech, which I get. I do understand that he wants to do that, but sometimes it's cool. But when I mean, to watch him break super expensive 3D printers, I mean, some people just like to watch the train crash. I personally don't, so I don't watch it. I haven't watched anything by him in a long time. I did just watch Modbot's latest video though, where he made the 3D printed camera jib, which was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool jib. I have nowhere I could put one like that, but I thought that was a cool project. And then you've got like the vector guy that's trying to hustle those 3D printed workbenches for like $1,500. It's just like, ooh, like yeah, it's cool, they're modular and all that jazz, but I don't know. It seems to be pretty expensive when you could make it for way less than that with very little design skills. Yeah, so we're seeing ringing from the very first um, section. So we're just let it go a little while longer and then figure out what to do then. Yeah, it is. Wolfgang, how you doing? Because my only issue. So sorry, back to this build. My only issue with this build is that the two 40 mil fans don't turn off. They're on all the time because they're hooked up directly to the 9 volt. So I wish I could figure out a way to have those fans controlled by the Pi and not the board. Because on the board, it's just a straight 5 volt header that they're plugged into. There's no control pin to it, which sucks. But I would love to be able to turn those fans off. Because most of my printers I don't turn off, they're on all the time. And all the fans, I have them on boards that can do that, where they all turn off. So the squeaking is the extruder. So I don't know how to solve that. I think it's just the bearings. Um, but that's what that squeaking is. That slight every now and then is the extruder. You're here in a second. Yeah, you can hear that every now and then. Yeah, the Discord is for literally everything and everyone of all kinds of stuff. Um, so for some reason, I don't think it's changing properly. Even though I set it and it said it took it. So it started at 1500. It's still set to 1500. Yeah, it didn't actually work. So I'm doing all this for nothing. Come on. Okay, so we need to do this again. Cancel that. Yep. Let's keep the preheat up. Yeah, it didn't do the change. So I'm gonna change it in the config. Because even when I set it, it doesn't actually change it in the UI. So yeah, that was. I think that was the problem. I was supposed to set that in the firmware first, and I didn't do it. Excel to decel. Save and restart. Yep, so that was my mistake. Didn't realize that that command did not take. So let's go back up here. Set that back to PLA. Okay. So set that command. Tuning tower. off we go again. So gantry on this is pretty quiet. So I'm using black annealed smooth rods from LDO. I'm using bearings on Z, but X and Y are using I just bushings. It's the only everything you ever hear is motor noise on those. Um, but I really want to. I was sent these to kind of break them in and see how they worked with bushings because the guy that sent me, Taylor, he did not use them for. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to redo my grid because now that they all move the right steps, I need to redo the grid. I'm the only one that doesn't build a Voron. Yeah, not been a thing to do yet. So my only thing is, I'm wondering if, um, so I'm a little worried that I might need to do this one more time because I still had settings in the slicer for Excel and decel and stuff, and I don't know if that's going to mess with it or not. I've been debating. See, I don't want to build a V0. I thought about it for a long time. I mean, the next thing I build will probably be a tiny M. I think he's talking about just he's an influencer now and less of like. That's what he means. He's just purely an influencer now, is what I would kind of consider him, an internet personality influencer. Um, which I'm pretty certain I am not an influencer. I mean, I might influence people with certain things, but not very much. Nothing compared to the big channels. Um, but you don't really see him like participating in the community anywhere. I think is what Gunner kind of means. I also feel like if he did, people would just like flog him with questions and things like that, which would be pretty annoying. Which is also why I don't envy the big channels at all. Like I don't envy the constant attention or everything that like they do a live stream and it's hundreds of thousands of people pop into those things. You can't even talk to anybody. So I kind of enjoy having smaller live streams where I can actually chat with people. I don't think, again, I don't think he ignores it. I just think he avoids it on purpose. I mean, Joel's the same way. Again, I mean, those guys get absolutely just hounded with questions. See, I know this is not working again. Okay, so I'm going to reslice the file and send it. Because Excel to decel is 7,000 right now. Because um, it's using the information off of the G code from the slicer and not from uh, the settings that I set. So there's the annoying thing about push slicer. Starting tuning test, okay. Send this again. I'll try this again. Yeah, and Patreon is fickle because I mean, like, I don't post a lot on Patreon because, like, every time I do, it gets viewed by like 2 people. Um, and I found it to be quite the waste of time to post videos on Patreon. Um, and I've even done surveys like, do you want to see more on here? And so we're like, nope, just keep doing what you're doing. For like the two or three people that responded, I had up to like 20 or 30 patrons, but no one seemed to care for any extra content. Um, and I also don't have a product because there's a bunch of I mean, I'm patron of a few people and they actually like do 3D modeling and stuff like that. I mean, only really one that I do that. I was Cadriels for Fluid, but since he gave up, I dropped support for that. I'm probably gonna become a supporter for the Klipper guy, Keith O'Connor, something like that. Um, I've been meaning to set up my patron with him. In a community, I think if people actually interact and discuss things with all of us, can use a word can use and actually would care about on a hobbyist prosumer level. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so squeaky. All right, so I disabled all of the things. So let's see once it does the first layer what it does. We'll see if it works or not. I don't know. This is all taking longer than I thought it was. Because I am an hour and a half into the stream. Wasn't expecting to be on try number 3 with this. No, you don't want to put grease in there because those are sealed bearings. I have other bearings. I think I do for that, so I might try swapping those out, but it's not a right now thing. Yeah, I know it's annoying, but you guys only have to hear it for an hour on stream. I have to hear it all the time, and you guys only hear the loud parts of it too. You don't hear all the subtle squeaks. I was wondering if it's like where that issue is coming from. Is it too tight or too loose? If I make it tighter, nothing changes. It's still the same as if it's loose. Actually, tighter does slow it down a little bit. No, it's definitely it's on my to-do list of stuff to fix on the printer. I mean, with that probably being one of the only things that is bugging me right now is that creaking of the bearings. I know I have more sets of bearings, so it could be I might just swap them out with a different set or try to see what I can do with them. But I'm pretty sure they're sealed because there are those really tiny bearings. I can't remember what the name of them is. Yeah, so it's not actually like changing the acceleration to deceleration. It still says it's 7,000. And we're now on the first layer. Then we need to take it off vase mode, maybe? Well, we'll see you on the Discord, Elliot. Where did Adam? Oh, Adam left. Yeah, I don't know why it's not changing, but it's right now. It's doing the 7,000. Might need to take it off of vase mode, even though it said you could do vase mode. What do you think, Aaron? I think it's just you and me here now. It's still, even if I update the speed, it is still. It's still not changing. There's something else that is still limiting it, and I can't remember what the heck it is. let's go to the filament setting. Tool change, filament overrides. I think that might have been it right there. Slice that. That was it. It was one of the settings, I think. Okay, so yeah, again, why I don't know why it's not doing those changes. So let's pause, cancel print. Yep. I do want to clean this bed off real quick. I've touched it a few times now. Okay. So what other settings in Prusa Slicer is jacking with my thing here? Blind. Speed, that's all up there. So let's check this. So temperature but not changing the acceleration. Let's do Prusa Slicer. Do some quick Googling here, see what the word is. So I turned off the limits under printer settings, machine limits, just ignoring all of those. I want you to do whatever printer is telling you to do. So let's go back to this. And we need to set that. Make sure that's 0. Let's throw this on command here. Nope, I want that. This one right here. God, I'm missing my mouse right now. Go back to here. Unknown command, that's good. And then we send the tower one. Ouch. Okay, so that is set. Okay, so now let's send this to it. And see how it goes. See if it actually changes the settings. If it doesn't change settings, I'm going to give up and have to just go to the Discord and figure it out from there because I don't know why it's not changing the settings. Let's just watch the console here because the console is more active than on here is. It says to send that and then to hit print. Yeah, nothing in the troubleshooting says that. Well, let's see what it does here. It should, on the first layer, set that command, or should set the acceleration to 1500 to start with. But if it doesn't do it, then I don't know. There we go. What time is it now? Yeah, this will be the last shot we give it tonight. Because I don't want to go too long, too late. And see, it doesn't say that it's setting that it's changing the to 1500, the acceleration. So I have a feeling that right after this finishes the skirt, which I set to 5 layers just to make it a little bit faster, or 5 rounds, I feel like it's just going to go like ludicrous speed right off the bat because it isn't changing the settings properly. Mm-hmm. That's 3 or 4, something like that. I think that's 3. Maybe we'll see if it changes it after the skirt. Maybe it'll change it then. I also changed it, took off vase mode and said do layer by layer. Oh yeah, Gunnar, you're painting tonight. I forgot you were doing that. Alright, should start here, I think. It still didn't change anything here. And I'm watching it didn't change it in the printer limits at the bottom, which usually it changes. Yep. Stupid speed. It's just going straight to 7,000. It's not actually taking the command. Or maybe it is, because the acceleration is 1,500 right now. Accel to decel is still 7,000. But acceleration start 1,500. Okay, so maybe it is right. I don't know. Maybe it is right. We'll give it to the next layer. If it goes faster on the next layer, then we know it is right. I'm gonna bump up my temperature just a smidge. Okay, we're almost done with the first part of it. See if it changes to. It's supposed to increase by 500. So it should go to 2,000. Yeah, step delta's 500. Okay. Yep, 2,000. Okay, it did work this time. Now it's clipping along. So I don't know if it was I don't know what it was at this point. I changed too many things between the last test and this test, so I don't know what it is. Cool. I remember it showing in the console though when it would change, but I don't know. It updated, so I'll take that as a win. Um, but yeah, well I guess I'm gonna end it there then tonight because it took me what 40 minutes to figure out that I had the steps wrong because I did it wrong and yeah, and then it took a while to figure this out. I do wish that Pure Slicer has so much control. It just needs a little less. And I think it's also because I cloned another one of my printers to pull into this. Um, and that also could have been part of my problem is just updating all those settings right now to try and get them all matched properly. It just took time. So I'm gonna let this run. Once I figure this out, I'm gonna do pressure advance as well, and then I can start doing some final prints. So Aaron thinks it was vase mode. It says you can do vase mode though in the guide, but either way, um, it's clipping right along right now quite quickly, and we'll see how it goes from there. Hopefully I'll get those bearings figured out as well for the extruder, and we'll call that there. But yeah, I'll post some beauty shots eventually once I figure out everything. I'll post it in the Discord. I'd say I'd post it on my social media, but I hardly post on there anyways, so Discord's the place to talk to me and see all that stuff. If you guys want to join Discord, again, there's a link down below. Go check that out. If you want to support the channel, there's lots of ways to do that. Just check the description down below, or hey, just come hang out in the Discord. It's always fun to talk to people and see what you're working on, and we can always help each other because I'm always need help for this, and what I've learned, I try to pass it on to other people as well. So thank you all for tuning in.